Yay! Welcome, everyone. We're
Welcome.
day 3 of the Mythic Life Experience. Day 1, we got to do our reveal. We got to talk about what is Mythic Life. We got to open the portal to connect to our Mythic Life. Day 2, we mapped out our Mythic Life. We went back through our experiences. We kind of followed those breadcrumbs from our soul of what was coming through into our life and allowed it to also take us into our future of what it is we want to create moving forward. So that was actually really powerful, and
Yes.
I have some insights to share with you guys, at least from following along when Eric was doing it. And today we're going to be really launching into our mythic abilities. So I kind of really actually wanted to probably start with definitely maybe connecting.
Yes.
And kind of tapping back into that sanctuary of the sacred that we initiated on day 1. So I'm curious of Eric, do you want to lead them to that before we do our reading today? And we'll just kind of start with an anointing and centering in our heart. What do you feel would be best for today? Yay, we have a couple more people joining on.
Yay. So where are we diving into today?
Well, it's going to be for our mythic abilities.
Our mythic abilities.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. So
why don't I start with opening with a breathing, just centering, and then we can kind of go into this journey. Does that sound good?
Absolutely.
Okay. So just so we can kind of bring in the sacred today, we're going to be doing a closing. I want to start again, you're going to want to make sure that you have a pen and paper. If you have a candle, feel free to light it. Whenever we light a candle, we come into the present moment and we absolutely start to bring in the sacred. You can also light sage and incense. We've been using essential oils, primarily this frankincense, which if you've been to a Theta Healing class, you know that, or you're a Theta Healing teacher, you know that we start the day by actually, the first day of basic, by actually anointing everyone's feet. It really allows us to be connected to source, be in the present, also unite as a collective. So that's something we're definitely going to be diving into today. So whatever spiritual tool you have, and if you don't have oils on you, or you don't have sage, you don't have a candle, of course we always have the divine spark within us that we get to awaken and utilize to remind us of our connection. So we can simply close our eyes and center into our heart and focus on our breath, just allowing our breaths to be full yet gentle, breathing all the way into our bellies. And with each breath, just feel more and more tuned in with your heart. And that beautiful spark of light in your heart. You can release a sound if it's helpful. And as you tune in with that spark of light in your heart, yes, there you go. Just allow that moment of sacredness, the knowing of sacredness, to come into your space, into the room around you, into your day. Just setting a template. And you may just have a little tap on the shoulder or a little knowing activate in your heart that says, I'm here. I'm here. Let's just take 3 cleansing breaths, 3 more breaths together. And one more. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. I'm so thankful to see you guys. I'm really excited for today.
Yes.
And I'm really also excited to get to connect with you guys. So we have a divine plan, and maybe Creator has more things in store for us for today, but I'm just going to share with you what our outline is. We're going to be kind of taking the threads throughout these 3 days, right? Like of opening this portal, of what you were shown yesterday of mapping out your mythic life, and following that through into what are your mythic abilities. We really wanted to, when we did this launch, give you an experience of mythic life, of what does it mean to live mythically. And a lot of that is living intuitively, being connected with our soul, and absolutely living in the sacred. And for me, and I know for Eric as well, that means living in our abilities. That means truly experiencing the magic in our everyday, that every day is magical. Yesterday, for example, I'm getting ready for the day. We had Freya's little birthday celebration in the morning. And of course, right when I'm getting ready, I look at my window in my bathroom, and there sitting on the windowsill is my spirit guide, my spirit animal, which happens to be a little ladybug. Mm-hmm. And this spirit animal comes to me all the time. When I lived in New York City, one time it came to me, I literally looked across from me, and the person sitting across on the subway had a little ladybug crawling in their hair. I've had her come to me and land on the window of my airplane. So these signs I'm very connected to. I so get lit up from having this connection with my spirit animal. And this is where we want to really invite you into the magic of what it means to really be spiritually anchored and connected with your abilities, but also with the magic of your life. For you, it may be a spirit guide. For another, it may be getting, communications with your angels. It may be, we've had students that have such a connection with spirits and actually seeing spirits and messages. For others, it may be playing with sacred geometry and crystals and herbs.
Certain numbers coming through. Where everywhere you see 11s or 2s or 8s.
Exactly. And for Eric, it's really been, I think, an exploration or just an expansion of intuitive insight from source.
So for me, there has been that deep dive in through what is it to be authentic? Mm-hmm. Like, what is this place of having an authentic emotion, an authentic thought, and exploring that discernment of when is my intuition flowing through a thought, when is my intuition coming through a sensation or emotion, so that I can really discern between when I'm hearing that voice of my soul, when I'm hearing that sense of purpose, when Creator is speaking with me, but then also beyond that into, when am I hearing that voice on my shoulder? When am I listening to that spirit? And as I've been exploring that, it's opened up a lot of dream work. It's opened up um, these other places of information that has flown through. So, for each of us, living life intuitively can come through any plane of existence. And if you don't know what I'm speaking of when I speak about planes, this is some of the framework of theta healing. I suggest, the Planes of Existence book to kind of outline some of it, just to be able to reference what these different energies are that we play with. Living life intuitively is not just being an alternative therapist and clearing beliefs and being a coach of manifesting. It's adventure. It's this magic, and your soul is adventurous. You're on this path, you're on this journey with purpose, that as you've gone through life and overcome challenges, gone through initiations, learned and grown, to handle life is to have abilities. So building on what we did yesterday of what is your mythic life, and having that story, from this story you have gifts, you have spiritual metaphysical tools, you have an entourage around you. So what is this entourage? Like, as Sarah was sharing, her totem animal is coming through, her power animal. And that was brought even as a moment into a lifestyle. She had this whole thing in parenting with Freya going, where's my animal? And I want it. And having her experience as an instant manifestation with another animal.
Yeah, it was really funny. I was taking the ladybug and I was going to release her out the window, and Freya's like, no, I want to hold her. And I said, don't worry, Freya, you'll have an animal come to you. And that morning, she's going, and we're about to leave to do her birthday, and she looks up, and there is the most gorgeous, with pointed wings, the most beautiful white, I guess it was a moth, but it looked like a butterfly. Like, it was so majestic and beautiful. And she's like, Mommy.
Sitting there on our roof.
The ceiling, right? The ceiling. Mommy, look at that amazing moth. And I had a tap on my shoulder that said, you told her that an animal would come to her. And I said, Freya, look at that. She came for you. And so it's this playfulness. It is this fun adventure. When we talk about the hero's journey, the hero goes out and is on the adventure. And as we talked about, like, Eric befriends the dragons, but there's conquering the dragons, or whatever it might be, whatever that adventure is. You have to have your abilities, and your abilities emerge through your story. And it's when you own your abilities and cultivate them and use them that, of course, you can grow and learn and overcome challenges, and in the end, come back and teach people how to also activate their abilities. But these are the things that, to me, make life full and exciting and rich. And, as we were sharing in our anthem, like, life is too boring without magic. To me, it's like, what's the point of that? When we actually activate the magic in our daily life, and this comes through the imagination, this comes through the sacred, the spiritual, the ritual, it comes from your deepening into, as Eric said, the planes of existence, which is the plant world, which is the mineral world, the animal world, the spirit world, the angelic world, and the masters, the laws, and of course, the source of all that is. Like, those are the planes of existence that we learn in theta healing. You get to truly experience source. You get to experience the creator through the magic that is life. So when Eric was guiding this meditation, what I saw very clearly were these, first of all, it brought me immediately back into my childhood, actually to my birth. And that's what was revealed to me as I looked back through my life. And I saw this moment of being born at home. And right when I saw that image, I was reminded of a story. My mom told me that she was driving in the car with my dad, and all of a sudden she felt this little, I guess it probably was me tapping on her shoulder, but this little communication that said, "This baby wants to be born at home." And so I was actually born at home in my parents' bedroom, and I saw that moment. And when I saw that moment, and as Eric was guiding, I really got to explore, why was that so important to me? You know, why was that important to have this moment, to be born at home? And I saw the connection with land, with nature. I saw that that moment opened up a portal for me to live more spiritually in regards to um, this land that I was born onto, like have this really deep connection with it. And it tracked me through these relationships with my family, with um, my coming of age when my dad got sick, and how I wanted to really change the world, and graduating high school and feeling really lost and going through this whole exploration of how I want to serve, and getting to come into family with Eric and step into being a mother with first Alana and Drew and then Freya. And when it tracked me all the way through, it took me to this future event in my life where I was actually in my 60s or 70s, and I was a grandmother. And it just activated my heart of like this deep, deep knowing and longing that I have to be this container for my family. You know, Eric was using the word matriarch for my family, and just seeing and tracking all the threads of what that means. And you know, today we're really going to look at like what was revealed to you yesterday in your own hero heroine journey, like this thread, this story that you went through, and where it is guiding you and leading you. And as I was explaining to Eric, I said, I think that's why I have such a desire to, you know, not just be in this service, but to really have space to be a weaver for our family, to get to develop the deepest relationships with Alana and Drew. And in order to do that, I need to be really resourced, you know, and part of being resourced is being supported by the Creator, is being able to manifest, is also being spiritually resourced, playing with the magic. So I'm curious for you guys, as we're like exploring your abilities, you know, what threads came through as you were doing this exercise with Eric?
And using this analogy of thread, it is like a scene. It's moments, but they do connect together into a story. Okay? So it's not a singular event as a purpose. It's a journey that comes in and out and through. And this is what we did yesterday in exploring what is our mythic life. And yes, we have chapters that end, but then there's the evolution to the next chapter. So it continues based off our character. And as we go through experiences, we mature, we grow, we learn, and we apply ourselves in our magic. So what we're going to do now is, from these stories, we're going to look at, what is your magic? You know, what if that's in an ability, if that is like, oh, well, yes, I have supported people of stepping through their death doors and cleared away the entities that were around them, or I hold space for a family and hold kindness and compassion, and so it holds a sanctuary for others to nurture and heal. Or I have mother energy, right? You see some amazing healers and teachers. I think of my friend Renata from Mexico, and she is mother. And when she teaches, she is like the great mother energy that comes through. And I see that in Vienna when she teaches, like there's these qualities that come about. There's those stars and sparks that have this charisma and performance that just shines as they're in front of you. Like, what is your qualities? What are your magical relationships? You know, like Sarah has her connection with her animal. Like, what's your animal? You know, maybe you have a metaphysical animal. I have the Thunderbird right here over my heart. You know, maybe it's a dragon. Maybe it's a Thunderbird. Maybe it's the Phoenix, and that transition is your energy. So, this is where we get to play today. We're going to be doing a meditation of looking at these moments and where did we apply abilities? What character and quality came out that we hold? And we're going to write these out. It's going to be a really fun process. And so you do want to have, you know, a way of writing down handy. We're going to go in and out of the meditation for you to journal as you look at these moments. We're going to be using the Theta Healing meditation and to be guided as a self-reading for these gifts. And then we're going to get together and share what's come up.
So one thing is, you know, again, like looking at the story, looking at these moments. If you did get to join yesterday, if you haven't gotten to join, you could always go back to the Facebook book and watch the replay. But you'll be shown this thread that you went through. And with every moment, there are gifts that got activated. With every nugget, right? We talked about the breadcrumbs. With every breadcrumb, there was also gifts. Whether it was in a strengthening of a gift and or a new gift that got activated. So we can kind of use yesterday's journey to also discover and look for gifts that we have available to us. So do you want to jump into the meditation, or did you want to like go through some more of these things with them?
So this is about the epic. So, you know, things to consider is it's not just like techniques. I'm sitting in a class and done an angel reading. It's, have you seen ghosts? Have you heard them or felt them? You know, have you heard or felt or talked to an angel? How many of you have seen a fairy before? An elemental? Anyone? Raise your hand if you have. Maybe an elf or a gnome, right? Have you healed an illness in yourself or others? Yeah. That's an amazing ability. Do you feel other people's feelings? Have you had that empathic sense? You know, every form of intuition is an ability. Have you heard other people's thoughts? How many of you have had a miracle happen in your life? Something unexplainable, something that was a beautiful intervention in your life. Deja vus? Do we have any fate changers in the room? Yes? Okay.
You know, as you're talking, you're reminding me of just so many magical moments that we've had. You know, when Eric and I, we've traveled so much during our time together to take courses and also teach courses. And, you know, it's just like, it's kind of amazing, just these different experiences, whether it was...
Have you communicated with plants? How many of you are tree huggers? Yes. Climbed a mountain? What travels? What have you seen? This adventure of, you know, your spirit chose this planet. It's a pretty amazing planet. Have you traveled to experience the cultures? That's an ability. You know how many people haven't traveled? I have friends from Santa Cruz that have not gotten on an airplane before. Isn't that amazing? In today's world, never having traveled where you needed an airplane, that's pretty insane. That's amazing. So this is what it is to be epic. So in exploring these different things, your mind's already going to them. You're like, oh wow, I remember that moment. Oh yeah, that happened. Like this is where you want it to be like creative brainstorm of experience. Like what have you done? What have have you channeled information? Have you created a piece of artwork? You know, what performances have you done? Have you recorded music?
Are you a person that allows other people to feel so safe that they open up to you? You know, that they share their heart's desire with you?
Are you the person that they always come to that they ask you for directions? No matter where I am, people approach me and ask me for directions, even if I've never been there before. That's because my power animal blessed me with always knowing my direction when I was 10 years old in my first initiation. I had to know that I could lead my own path. And so I always have this thing of, I know how to get around. I know my directions. I know which way is north, south, east, and west.
It always like amazes me because like we'll go somewhere once and Eric will always know, he doesn't even have to put the GPS on, how to do that route again. For me, it takes me like a month of just like driving the same route. But like for him, it's instant. He'll remember his way right away.
So what I want for you to do as we're exploring this, you may already started writing, you got that creative pulse running. I want for you to bring it into rhythm as you take a moment and connect in with your breath. We're going to go on a quick journey and open this up through our intuition so that we are not just brainstorming, but we're also being shown. So slow down for just a second. Take an exhale, let that built up energy go. Full breath in. Using this intention
And I just,
to center.
as you're going through this, I think we talked about that we are going to be using the theta healing meditation here
Yes.
to connect. So this is really like the theta healing meditation to get up into that space and really see your gifts and activate them from this higher space. So I'm excited that you guys are joining as we lead you in this meditation.
Come into this calm, centered state as you close your eyes, feeling into the sensations of your body. Imagine focusing your breath through anywhere that feels heavy or stuck or stagnant. As you release that stuck, trapped energy, letting it flow through your space in harmony and rhythm, feeling it pulse and wash through your veins, allowing your energy to soften and calm. And for a moment, you feel as though you are almost like melting and slowing way, way down. Imagine drawing your breath all the way through your space as though you're breathing into your hands and your feet. And visualize that energy begins to build up through the bottoms of your soles of your feet. Imagine this energy being a color that is soothing and protective as it swirls up your ankles and your calves, drawing it all the way up through your legs, letting go of any tension that you're carrying in your muscles as it begins to build through your belly and your spine and your back, up through your chest, flowing through your hands and arms and shoulders, swirling up your neck and your face, all the way from the bottoms of your feet up to your crown of your head. Imagine pushing with this energy up out of the top of your head, letting it form a ball of light above your body. Visualize going up in this ball of light above your space, feeling this ball of light float up through the room, and that you could see through this sphere, through this ball, looking down on your body from above. And you feel this sensation of being lighter than a feather, softer than a thought, feeling a floating, rocking, swaying feeling come through you. As you imagine going up in this ball of energy above the building you are in, above the trees, above the sky, through the clouds, as you shift your thoughts to the intention of going up to connect with the highest truth, lifting up to connect with that energy of love and that divine presence of the Creator. As you visualize going up through the universe, through the stars and the empty void, going up and out through layers upon layers of energy as the physical world sheds away. And in your mind, you keep focusing on up to connect, up, up, as you imagine going up through a bright white light, feeling this bright white light flash through you and entering into a golden energy that washes over you, and you calm and soften and surrender. And as you feel this surrender for a moment, you feel adrift, like you're floating, and then imagine feeling an energy pushing you up from beneath, lifting you into a thick liquid-like energy, and you feel as though you are submerged into a pool of liquid that surrounds you, and the more you release and let go to this sensation, the more you begin to float up through it, like gently floating to the surface of a pool of water. And you feel this buoyancy and float as you rock and sway and swim up to the surface. And imagine pushing up out of that shell of that thick liquid energy into a sparkling pearlescent light that has a sparkle and tingle to it and a soft whiteness. You feel a hue of color like a rainbow tint, like a pearlescence. And this soft white light you could visualize being opaque, and you feel it swirling around you, washing through your thoughts, and you feel an openness and lightness and calmness in your mind, a softness and stillness in the energy of your body. And as you feel this connection, in your mind, you're going to make this statement: Creator of all that is, it is requested that I be shown my magical divine gifts, what abilities I have practiced, and what my highest qualities are. Thank you, it is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. And imagine looking back on your life, watching all of those divine moments those signatures of initiations and growth and learning, all the times you've applied yourself. Following that thread of purpose through your life, and acknowledge, affirm to yourself what that magic is. When you had those metaphysical experiences, when your qualities have created change for yourself and others. As it comes through and you acknowledge them, you can come out of the meditation, open your eyes and write them down, close your eyes and go back into those moments and continue to be shown the next. Following it through of what habits and rituals and ceremonies, experiences of those angels and guides and animals and intuitions, those prophetic dreams, those creative and artistic expressions that have come through. Continue to observe this. Following it through all those different moments, all the way to this present moment, as you acknowledge all of your magic, all of your medicines, all of your abilities. And imagine following it forward into your future, opening up your intuition to being shown what gifts await you in your future. As you acknowledge these, start to finish up by thanking the Creator for showing you and revealing what gifts you carry. As you bring your focus into your inhales, imagining drawing that sparkling pearlescent energy into your space with your breath, filling up your body as a container of light, vitality, and love, flowing into your toes and your feet, swirling up your ankles and your legs, through your knees and thighs, through your pelvic floor and your belly, and your spine, nourishing and opening and balancing each chakra as it raises up through the organs of your body, filling you all the way up into every cell of your body, through your chest and your shoulders and your arms and hands and fingers, swirling up your neck and your face and your head, all the way up to your crown, and then open your eyes. Mm. So take a moment. I want for you to look at this list. If you weren't writing, go ahead and write it down. As you look at this list, are you living a pretty epic life?
My next insight is, and maybe it was a gift you used that happened once or twice. What would it be to use this weekly? Some of them daily. Depends what you were shown. Were you shown qualities that you have? Were you shown practices that you did? I'm so curious. In a minute, if we have time, we'd like to open up and actually have you guys share with each other. What are your mythical abilities? How would you like to incorporate them, be with them, practice them in your daily life? Sometimes we only call upon these abilities when we think we need them, as opposed to letting them be a natural part of who we are. Are you curious what was shared with them?
I am very curious. I want to hear what came through in that meditation. What did you already know? What was shown to you? Who would like to share?
I'm curious if you want to keep the recording going or do you want to pause it?
Hmm?
Do you want to keep the recording going or pause it for our shares?
I want to hear how magical you are.
Okay.
Does anybody want to unmute? You can also maybe drop something into the chat. Let's do a quick round.
So I'm gonna put this to gallery mode then, or should we keep it?
Yes, let's go to gallery.
We're gonna go to gallery mode, and we'd love to hear from you guys. Maybe we could take
No.
at least a minute each person, a minute or two each person.
Yes, what did you see?
Open up this space to share. So I think one person was unmuted. Was that Irene? Does anyone want to go first? You could raise your hand.
Unmuted.
Yes.
I'll do it.
Hi, Arlene.
Listening.
Hi. Go first.
Like tree.
Like the tree.
Over again, because when I went up there, I became like a little girl, and I said to God, "Me and the tree want to know." Then we just ran off, and then I went back into when I was a little kid and had the Narnia stories. I always wanted to talk with animals. And it's just been that way all my life, as a private little thing. And I did these workshops where they were deep spiritual things. And I actually took on animals for whoever came to me for months. I mean, I was a falcon. I mean, my girlfriend said that my eyes were even on the sides of my head like a bird is, for all this time. And if I'd fly in a plane, I'd understand how the wing flaps would work. It is really crazy. And one time I had a boa constrictor, just circle up into my heart area and stay with me for a couple of months. And one day she just unceremoniously left out of my mouth. It was crazy. And I've been a shark. I've worked with wolves. It's just this deep connection. And it's funny, one of my divine timings was when I was very young. I saved a little bird and I raised it in a shoebox from outside and then released it. And I didn't know what that was all about. And this is just what came to me. So I don't know what it means, but there you have it.
Wow.
Okay.
That's pretty magical.
That's pretty mythical.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Me and the animal.
I just have a follow-up question really quickly. Is it when you worked with people, it would be like your way of healing them, or is it coming into you, bringing you in?
No, it's coming into me for me.
Yeah.
And nothing to do with anybody else.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
How
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they leave. They're like teachers, or they just want me to understand their energy or something. And then they just go after a while. So, yeah.
Thank you
Anyway.
so much.
So I don't know what that's all about, but there you have it.
That's an awesome becoming.
I love it. Love it.
Beautiful.
All right. Okay, I'll mute myself now.
Okay, so really quickly we have Maria M, that M Life that shared. So when I was learning theta healing, I had experience of seeing and feeling my angels. It was so bright and vivid. I almost felt that I'm going crazy. Anyone else feel that way when your intuition just goes? Last month I went to Mount Shasta, which is a super powerful place this year, and opened its portal for everyone who wants to get its energy on this mountain. I felt the spirit of it, the spirit of the mountain. So in this meditation, I felt it again. Is that Mount Shasta? Was that in California? The one in California? Wow.
It's such an incredible mountain. That is quite the portal. I remember hiking up that mountain. I got about 3/4 the way up and did a meditation, and it just took me out of this world.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
so
it's a
you're
beautiful place.
recognizing your connection to the angels and also the spirit of the mountain. And so it sounds like you have an ability to visually intuit, and with the spirit of the mountain, maybe that was that a feeling, an intuitive a feeling. Did you see it? Did you hear it? So it sounds like you really have this intuitive ability of perception, Maria.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I think Eric said Nabila had her hand up. Nabila, we'd love to hear from you. Did you see her hand up?
I believe so. Nabila, did you?
Yes, hi.
Yay!
Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, meditation was pretty powerful, and like he's just said, visually intuiting is in meditation, and even working with myself, or in usually in meditation. And it's but also hearing. It's a lot about hearing spirit guide, and and uh, um, but the most surprising is what happened in session when I work with clients, and an ancestor or a spirit related to the client appears with very precise answers. And it's always it's like there's no way you can doubt it, but it's each time it's always a big surprise. Yeah,
You've
thank you.
experienced actually a deep relationship with spirit work, ancestor work, being able to communicate with them, and they come in session to give
Mhm.
guidance and answers and
Mhm.
healings, it sounds like, to the clients you're working on.
Yeah, yeah, wonderful. And thank you again for the opportunity to be together.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing. I
Thank
love
you.
getting to hear it, all the different things from everyone.
Well, thank you.
And Daniel, I hear those thoughts.
I'm so enchanted by everybody's stories. It's so beautiful to really, really see the connection between all of us and the like you guys call it, the hero's journey and the mythic life that is, what's being brought up for everybody. And for me, this meditation was it was so beautiful because for me, my spirit energy, my spirit animal has always been the dragon, you know, and I've traveled a lot to the Far East, to China, and to all those ancient cultures. And I remember when I first started going there, they have dragons everywhere because it's such a part of their culture. And I kept asking, like, what is this? What is this? What is this? And what is it showing me? And what is it allowing me to see that I haven't seen before? And then, just this magic of like you said in the beginning, Eric, like being on an airplane is like riding a dragon, right? And to be able to travel through all of these different places in the world is what made me realize that I've been navigating the vibrational universe with the physical universe my whole life, right? Whether it be in my dreams and my meditations, I'm always flying, always flying in my dreams, always flying in my meditations. Like deciphering what is real and what is this and what is that reality has always been a thing. And I also see it because, for so many years, and once a performer, always a performer. I saw how that energy, that navigating the vibrational universe with the physical universe really, really was what I was always doing when I was acting, is I was channeling characters and channeling energies and channeling emotions and channeling thoughts and words and feelings. And all of that started to really become so present when I started to teach. And, now that my whole life is about teaching and seeing my clients and doing all of this, it's everything has kind of been like what do you call it? A ripple effect, right? Like the wave building and building and building. And, there was a part where you said, what abilities will this contribute to in the future? What abilities are there in the future? And I remember I had this crazy flashback to when I was a kid. When my mom would like take me to the mall, and then she'd say, go run, do whatever you want, come back here at 9 o'clock when the mall is closed and we'll go home. Right. And I would always run to the bookstore and go to the metaphysical section, right? They called it the occult back then, right? Because I grew up in the South. So anything metaphysical or new age was occult. And I would go and I would just sit in the back of the bookstore and read these books. And I remember the subject that was so enchanting to me was astral travel, right? And astral projection. And I would read these books. And I remember one time it was like 9 o'clock. I had to go, and I slipped the book into my pocket because I didn't want to see anybody see me buying this thing. And I literally stole the book, and I went home and I was like, I have to study this. I have to learn this. I have to do this. And I would lay at bed at night, like, I'm like 12 years old, like trying to astral project. And I'm like, this isn't working. And I really kind of forgot about this whole experience, until that meditation. And when I was doing it, all of a sudden I saw myself like doing this astral travel. And I had to actually ask in the meditation, am I dead? And that the answer I got was like, no, this is the reality that you've been preparing for your whole life. Like, you always knew that this was possible. And now you're going to really, really start to experience it and allow it to contribute to the work that you do in a much bigger in broader perspective and in a broader way. And that was like so incredibly thrilling. And so I think that that's like totally my mythic life.
That too. because the astral travel is the flying, is the projection. Like there is such a thread here.
Totally. Yeah. So you know, going from,
Stuck as a particle.
what'd you say?
Right?
He didn't hear what you said.
Got to be a wave, not be stuck as a particle.
Exactly. Exactly. All the time. Yeah, totally.
This is really reminding me, Eric started doing this very unique kind of work with, we call it magic school. And you guys, this is magic school. This is like exploring
Yeah.
what is your magic and how do we enrich it and cultivate it and really allow you to just live in it. So
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
definitely part of the work that Eric's really been stepping into, and it's a part of Mythic Life, hands down, 100%.
Totally. I agree.
That is awesome.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
sharing, Daniel.
So we
And thank you.
a cup. I think if Hadia wants to share, it's up to you, Hadia. We'd love to hear from you. You can share with vocally. You can type it in. If not, that's okay as well. Just let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Maybe she.
Hadia? Nope.
No? Okay. We are, so yes. Yes.
As we really recognize this, I mean, look how epic this is. It isn't just singular, I am on my own hero's path and going to conquer the world, you know, journey of saving things. And like it's beautiful that we are in a collective, you know, recognizing that we have a magical community and that everybody has their natural gifts that, you know, for so many, they have them and don't realize them, and their higher self has to override their lower self for a moment of epiphany or an intervention, and then they go back to kind of stagnant mundane. You know, like this is what we're doing as healers on this planet, is waking people up to play. You know, otherwise what's the point of healing? Like, I mean, what experience are we wanting to have as a human race? Like, this is like where it's really beautiful to embrace and realize that we're still in growth, we're still learning and cultivating new, and these threads of our epic journey are getting us to a matured place with certain abilities. Sometimes it's a new ability coming in, sometimes it's an ability developing into its next cycle, its next era. And so what we want to do is to do a blessing on this path, to do an activation for our mythic life and for our mythic life collective as a blessing for community. Right now for the planet, it's so important that we as a community can embrace this higher mindset, this play, this metaphysical experience, so that we can hold an amazing place for this planet. And this is going to be our closing ceremony, is to hold this blessing. So I want for you to take a moment and in acknowledging these gifts, acknowledging your character and qualities, we all have unique individual qualities. And I want for you to think of what blessing you want to offer to the Mythic Life Collective. What blessing do you feel you are needing on your individual paths? So there's two places I want for you just to take a moment and explore before we do this closing meditation. Okay. So once again, that is, what blessing are you feeling like you need on your path and moving forward? And for the community, what blessing would you like to offer to the Mythic Life Collective, to our community as a whole? So close your eyes, connect in with your heart, feel into this space and listen in your heart to that divine spark, hearing, feeling, and listening to those blessings. As you acknowledge them, letting it clarify and come through, it may go through some evolutions of clarity. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Let yourself come to that finalized place of yes. As you connect in with your breath, drawing your breath throughout your space in slow, sustained breathing. Breathing to about 70-80% without straining, but taking full inhales and exhales. With each circulating breath, visualize that this blessing as light and vitality grows throughout your space. Letting this clarity of need come through as you connect in with the earth beneath you. And imagine drawing earth energy up through the bottoms of your legs, bringing it all the way through your space, building through your belly, and your spine, and your chest, and shoulders, and arms, and hands, and neck, all the way up to the crown of your head. As you expand your breath outward into your energetic aura, breathing into your environment, and visualize that your aura expands out, beginning to share space with the environment around you. That you could energetically feel the walls and objects and trees and people expanding through the planet, feeling that current of water, that magma of lava flow and the rock and crystals, sharing space and expanding through the entire planet of its surface, all of the cities and people and animals and plants, expanding through the atmosphere. And imagine pushing up and out from the planet, lifting through the solar system and the universe, flying through the stars as you focus on your intention of going up to connect once again, up to connect with the divine presence of Creator, Source, Atanaha, God. As you imagine lifting up through layers upon layers of energy and light, going up through a bright white light, through a golden light, through a thick liquid-like energy, up into a sparkling pearlescent light of all that is. In your heart, I want for you to make the request, Creator of all that is, it is requested a blessing for my path, that I receive the support, nurturing, guidance, and the fulfillment of my needs, that I may walk this path empowered, that I am living a mythic life. And Creator, it is requested a blessing for our soul family, that for the Mythic Life Collective be blessed with and recognize that intention. If it's with truth, honesty, kindness, compassion, abundance, nurturing, support, whatever qualities you want to see be brought into the sanctity of Mythic Life. Thank you, Creator, for these blessings. It is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. And imagine observing that sparkling pearlescent energy nourishing with light and unconditional love, fulfilling these blessings, that those manifestations and downloads come into your space through your soul and free will, and that from Creator, your intention of this blessing for that sacred group consciousness of Mythic Life, that the collective receive this blessing forward. Watching that trickle through the laws of the universe, pouring into that group conscious soul of that sacred geometric shape of the sanctuary of Mythic Life, bringing that life force into it, giving it personality and the qualities you wish to see in it. Imagine that flowing through those rays of light from the Mythic Life Collective to all of the souls that it supports and holds space for, pouring in to their souls and into their life and into yours, nourishing you and supporting you and blessing you with these intentions. Imagine it filling up your space and your body, and imagine it beckoning all of those souls to join, and that we all lift up through those rays of light into that sanctuary that is like our playground, and we get to connect and play and have fun together in. Feel the presence of all of those beings and souls and guides and angels, all of those people, and knowing that we are all one. Feel that activation in your heart as you connect in with your breath, coming into gratitude once again, thanking the Creator for these blessings. As you draw that vitality in through your breath, filling yourself up with energy, pouring in, filling yourself up as a container of light from the bottom to your feet, through your legs, through your torso and shoulders and arms and hands and neck and head, all the way from the bottoms of your feet up to your crown. And open your eyes. Beautiful. Thank you all for taking this journey with us. I feel so blessed to be on this journey with you all, and are so excited for this next step as a community. We're going to continue to explore. There's more coming. So keep your eyes out. We're going to be doing some posts in the group. We're leaving this group open for, I think, a couple more weeks at least. And some new emails. As a heads up, once again, Theta Healing NYC is really no more. If you go to thetahealingnyc.com, it will redirect you to mythiclife.com. And emails from us are going to be through Mythic Life. So it'll be Sarah at mythiclife.com, Eric at mythiclife.com, info at mythiclife.com. So all of
Probably
this
starting next week. Not yet. Probably starting next week.
Okay, so starting on Monday. The other
Mercury
emails.
retrograde is ending, and so we think it will come to be by Monday. That's the plan.
Of course.
You guys, this really has been fun. It's been such a ride, and we're so happy to get to be on this ride with you guys. Thank you so much. Sending you big, big hugs. Lots of love. And we look forward to continuing the play within the next couple months, the next couple years, and just seeing what this mythic life journey is, this epic journey is for you guys, each individually and as a collective.
Yes.
We love you.
And
Thank you guys. Congratulations on this next new amazing chapter, and thanks for including us.
Thank you.
Mwah. Thank you.
Next week, we will be having an event as well. So look out for emails for that. I hope you will be able to join. We're going to be having a lot of fun and revealing something extra. We have something that's been sitting there. So we are very excited about that, and look forward to connecting with you all very soon again. So many blessings, many dreams.
Bye, man. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.